Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are this morning's headlines. After the expansion, the big cabinet reshuffle, Smriti Irani shifted out of the HRD ministry. Prakash Javadekar replaces her. Arvind Kejriwal's principal secretary, along with 4 others, remanded to 5 days of custody in graft case. AAP cries vendetta. Former Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit defends arrest. Seven killed as lightning strikes Gaya in Bihar. NDRF deployed in 2 districts in the state. 90,000 affected by floods in Assam. Brahmaputra flowing above the danger mark. FBI rules out charging Hillary Clinton of international misconduct over sending classified information from personal email. Donald Trump calls the development very, very unfair. And the Williams sisters reach the semi-finals of Wimbledon. Serena will play Russia's Elena Vesnina and Venus will take on Germany's Angelique Kerber in the semi-finals on Thursday. Well, our top focus on the bulletin right now. After the big cabinet expansion in the day on Tuesday came the big cabinet reshuffle last night. And the biggest change has been the shifting of Smriti Irani from the HRD ministry to Textiles ministry. Prakash Javadekar, who was elevated to cabinet rank, takes her place. The other big change has been Finance Minister Arun Jaitley being relieved of the INB portfolio that now goes to Venkaiah Naidu. Here is the report.
Big reshuffle in the Narendra Modi cabinet. Most prominent change has been that of Smriti Irani. The high-profile minister has been shifted from the key Human Resource Development Ministry to the Textile Ministry. Her 2-year tenure in the HRD ministry was marked by several controversies. In her place is Prakash Javadekar, who has been elevated to cabinet rank. In another change, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley has shed the additional charge of information and broadcasting. In his place, Urban Development Minister Venkaiah Naidu gets the additional portfolio of INB but loses that of Parliamentary Affairs. In his place, Anand Kumar has been given the Parliamentary Affairs portfolio. Arun Jaitley, however, gets 2 deputies in the Finance Ministry, Santosh Kumar Gangwar and Arjun Ram Meghwal. Sadananda Gowda has been relieved of the Law and Justice portfolio and moved to Statistics and Program Implementation. In his place, IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad gets a charge of Law and Justice. Jayant Sinha has been shifted from Finance to Civil Aviation as Minister of State. The earlier MOS Civil Aviation, Mahesh Sharma, now only has Culture and Tourism. Cabinet Minister Chaudhry Birendra Singh has been shifted to the Steel Ministry from the Ministry of Rural Development. Piyush Goyal, who is the MOS in Power, Coal and Renewable Energy with independent charge, gets the additional Mines portfolio. Among the new ministers with MOS rank, Vijay Goyal gets Youth Affairs and Sports as independent charge, a post held by Sarbanand Sonowal before he became the Chief Minister of Assam, while Anil Madhav Dave comes in place of Javadekar in the Environment Ministry with independent charge. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, newly appointed HRD Minister Prakash Javadekar spoke to the media and said that he will consult with the Prime Minister to chalk out a road map for the education sector.
मैं पहले ब्रीफिंग भी लूंगा, कल मैं चार्ज भी लूंगा और सारे परामर्श के साथ बाद प्रधानमंत्री जी से भी फिर मिलके एक रोड मैप क्या है यह हम चर्चा करेंगे। हर आदमी के जीवन से जुड़ा है शिक्षा और उसको एक सार्थक शिक्षा मिले, उसकी क्वालिटी अच्छी हो, ये देखना ही हमारा काम है।
Well, joining me for a chat right now to talk about this is our correspondent Vishal Dahiya. Vishal, a lot of developments taking place yesterday. Of course, a major cabinet rejig that we saw, 19 new faces being inducted, 5 old ones given the boot, a major restructuring of sorts of the cabinet by the Prime Minister.
Yes, in fact, it has been a major reconstruction of the entire cabinet. Although there were indications coming in from the Prime Minister's office, before this expansion happened, that this will merely be an expansion. It will not be a rejig, but it has turned out to be a major reconstruction. If you look at, a cursory look at the allotment of portfolios will give us the fact that there has been at least half a dozen major losers in this reconstruction or rather rejig, whichever term we may want to use. And the topmost amongst them is the former HRD Minister Smriti Irani. She has been shunted from HRD to textile. Then comes the Finance Minister. The Finance Minister held an additional portfolio of INB Ministry, but now the INB has been shifted to Venkaiah Naidu. Venkaiah Naidu has shed his Parliamentary Affairs portfolio, which has again moved on to Anant Kumar. And this is quite important, quite significant as well, because we had seen both Venkaiah Naidu and Arun Jaitley playing significant roles in terms of holding the additional charge of INB Minister, and Naidu as the Parliamentary Affairs Minister. This has been changed with effect from yesterday night. Apart from that, another major loser is a leader who moved from Congress to BJP just before the elections and grabbed an important portfolio of rural development, Panchayati Raj, when in 2014, May 2014, the government was formed. That's Chaudhry Birendra Singh. He's been shunted from that particular ministry to steel now. And it's quite significant as well, because this is one particular ministry who handles one of the previous government's flagship programs, that's Manrega.
Yes.
Apart from that, if you look at the MOSs, the Minister of States, one major loser is Jayant Sinha. He has been shifted from finance to civil aviation. Quite significant. But if you look at the list of new inductees, the new inductee seems to have grabbed a larger share of the pie. Arjun Ram Meghwal has got environment. If you look at the other members, the youngest minister in this cabinet, that's Anupriya Patel, is now MOS Health and Family Affairs. Quite a significant portfolio for somebody who is a first-time MP, a first-time minister.
Okay, we seem
Apart
to have
from that,
a
an
difficulty
old
with the
BJP
line
hand,
there. Thank you so much,
SS
Vishal Dahiya, for
was
joining us there with all those details and putting things into perspective for us. Now, ahead of the reshuffle came the big cabinet expansion, the second since the Modi government took charge at the centre. Prakash Javadekar was the first one to take oath at the ceremony at Rashtrapati Bhavan. He has been promoted to cabinet rank. 19 new ministers were sworn in after him, while 5 ministers of state were dropped. Here's more.
New faces and fresh energy in the Modi government. In an exercise to introduce new talent into his 2-year-old government, Prime Minister Modi on Tuesday expanded his cabinet. 19 people with Minister of State rank made the grade. Prakash Javadekar, who held the MOS rank with independent charge, was elevated to cabinet rank. The new additions include P.P. Chaudhary, BJP MP from Pali; Subhash Ramrao Bhamre, BJP Lok Sabha MP from Dhule; M.J. Akbar, BJP Rajya Sabha MP from Madhya Pradesh; Arjun Ram Meghwal, BJP Lok Sabha MP from Bikaner; Anil Madhav Dave, BJP Rajya Sabha MP from Madhya Pradesh; Ramesh Chandappa, BJP Lok Sabha MP from Bijapur; Purushottam Rupala, BJP Rajya Sabha MP from Gujarat; Jaswant Singh Bhabhor, BJP MP from Dahod; Rajan Gohain, BJP Lok Sabha MP from Navgong; Mahendra Nath Pandey, BJP Lok Sabha MP from Chandauli; Fagan Singh Kulaste, BJP Lok Sabha MP from Mandla; Vijay Goel, BJP Rajya Sabha MP from Rajasthan; Anupriya Singh Patel, Apna Dal MP from Mirzapur; Mansukh Mandavia, BJP Rajya Sabha MP from Gujarat; C.R. Chaudhary, BJP MP from Nagaur; Ajay Tamta, BJP Lok Sabha MP from Almora; Ramdas Athavale, RPI Rajya Sabha MP from Maharashtra; Krishnaraj, BJP MP from Shahjahanpur; and S.S. Ahluwalia, BJP Lok Sabha MP from Darjeeling. Many of those who took oath expressed their happiness at being given new roles in the government.
अब जब तक विभाग स्पष्ट नहीं होगा तब तक प्रायोरिटीज़ कहना मुश्किल है, लेकिन मैं इतना कह सकता हूं कि प्रधानमंत्री जी जो अपेक्षा करेंगे उसको हम उनकी आकांक्षा, अपेक्षा, योजनाओं को पूरी ताकत और शिद्दत के साथ हम पूरा करने का प्रयत्न करेंगे।
बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर जी पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू के मंत्रिमंडल में थे, उसके बाद रिपब्लिकन पार्टी को इतने गैप के बाद मंत्रिमंडल में स्थान मिला है, तो मुझे बहुत बड़ी खुशी है। भारत के तमाम अम्बेडकराइट लोगों में अच्छी खुशी है और हम सब लोग मिलकर, मतलब मेरा जो भी मंत्रालय मुझे मिलेगा उस मंत्रालय का काम लोगों के लिए मैं करता रहूंगा, लोगों को जोड़ने का काम करूंगा, लोगों का विकास करने के लिए मैं कोशिश करूंगा।
समय पे मुझे खुशी हो रही है कि नरेंद्र भाई जैसे विजनरी प्रधानमंत्री के नेतृत्व में हमें सेवा करने का मौका मिलेगा, काम करने का मौका मिलेगा।
मोदी जी ने अपना मंत्रिसभा में अंतर्भुक्त कर लिया, ये मेरे लिए सबसे बड़ा खुशी का बात है और उनका नेतृत्व में मैं चाहता हूँ देश और असम और नॉर्थ ईस्ट के लिए कुछ सेवा बढ़ाओ, यही मेरा मतलब मन का इच्छा है।
5 ministers holding Minister of State rank, who included Savarlal Jat, Ram Shankar Kateria, Mansukh Vasawa, Mohan Bhai Kunderia and Nihal Chand were dropped from the cabinet. In all, 4 MPs from Rajasthan, 3 each from Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat were made ministers in the second expansion of the Modi cabinet. Vishal Daya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, opposition parties were muted in their response to the cabinet expansion. Congress, however, said that Prime Minister Modi has utterly failed to address the issues of governance and delivery.
जो मोदी सरकार का ग्राफ था 2014 में जब वो जीते थे, वो ग्राफ यहाँ था, तभी वो इतनी बहुमत में जीत कर आए थे। वो ग्राफ नीचे गिर चुका है। अब मंत्रिमंडल की शक्ल बदलें, लोगों के पोर्टफोलियोज बदलें, अपनी बातचीत करने का तरीका बदलें, अब वो ग्राफ दोबारा ऊपर नहीं जाने वाला।
बीजेपी का विस्तार है ये। बात रही एनडीए की, मुझे लगता है कि अकाली दल को भी नहीं बुलाया, तेलुगु देशम को नहीं बुलाया, तो जो दुख उनका रहेगा वो शिवसेना का है। शिवसेना के मन में कोई दुख नहीं है। मैं सिर्फ ये सच बता रहा हूँ कि एनडीए का अगर होता तो हम बात कर लेते। ये विस्तार बीजेपी का है।
When Modi ji came to power, his famous quote was that minimum of government and maximum of governance. But now we find less of governance and more of government. So almost the quota is full. And instead of looking to the efficiency or the regional imbalance, it is focused on 2 aspects. One is the caste consideration and another is the pre-election exercise.
Well, the Union Cabinet also approved short-term loans up to 3 lakh rupees for farmers at a subsidized interest rate of 4%. The Cabinet approved a decision to increase foreign investment from 62 to 74% in Axis Bank as well. Other decisions included clearing the National Apprentice Promotion Scheme, approving redevelopment of 7 general pool residential accommodation colonies, that is government quarters, and renaming of the Calcutta, Bombay and Madras High Courts.
किसानों को जो शॉर्ट टर्म क्रॉप लोन मिलता है उसको कैबिनेट ने अप्रूव किया है। दिस इज एप्लीकेबल फॉर ऑल द फार्मर्स, नंबर 1। दूसरा, ये शॉर्ट टर्म लोन है 1 साल के लिए, 3 लाख रुपए। तीसरा, मार्केट बैंकिंग लेंडिंग रेट है 9%। भारत सरकार इस पे 5% की छूट देती है, ये 4% पर अवेलेबल है।
Meanwhile, the government is keen to get the landmark GST bill cleared in the upcoming parliament session, and to ensure that happens, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley may reach out to the Congress. PTI is quoting a top government source and saying that Jaitley is likely to meet top Congress leaders to win over their support. The Congress's opposition to certain clauses in the GST bill has remained a major stumbling block in the passage of the biggest indirect tax reform law. The monsoon session of Parliament begins on the 18th of July. The government is banking on support from smaller regional parties in the upper house of Parliament, and then to get get supporting laws enacted by the year end so that goods and services tax is introduced from April 2017. The GST bill, which intends to convert 29 states into a single market through a new indirect tax regime, was earlier planned to be introduced from April 1st this year. But the deadline was missed as the bill to roll it out remains stalled in the Rajya Sabha. Meanwhile, the US has said that India's 7.5% growth rate may be overstated. The US State Department has also said that the Narendra Modi government has been slow to match its rhetoric in economic reforms. Washington, however, said that the measures taken by the Modi government in areas like bureaucracy and easing FDI restrictions are appreciable. The US State Department report says that many of the reforms proposed by the government have struggled to pass through Parliament. This, it said, has resulted in many investors retreating slightly from their once forward-leaning support of the BJP-led government. The report has suggested some quick fixes to the structural impediments, poor regulatory environment, tax and policy uncertainty, infrastructure bottlenecks, localization requirements, restrictions in many services sectors, and massive shortages of electricity that hinder India's economic growth potential. Well, in other news now, Rajendra Kumar, the Principal Secretary to Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and 4 others were remanded to 5 days of police custody by a special court. All 5 were arrested by the CBI on Monday in a graft case. Kumar is accused of being involved in a 50 crore rupees corruption scam. Documents seized by the CBI in raids conducted at his office in the Delhi Secretariat last December indicate that Rajendra Kumar promoted a company, Endeavour System Private Limited, in 2007. He is alleged to have misused his official position to facilitate tenders worth 9.5 crore rupees to the company. As Secretary to the Chief Minister, he is accused of committing irregularities in award of contract for a facility management system for the Trade and Taxes Department. Meanwhile, former Delhi Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit has defended Rajendra Kumar's arrest.
The CBI must have got some information, na? तभी तो ये किया होगा. ऐसे तो they don't go around attacking everybody and all. I don't think it is politically motivated, because remember about 5 or 6 months ago, a raid had also taken at that point of time. At that point of time, whether they had found adequate reason to arrest him or not.
दिल्ली सरकार के अलग अलग डिपार्टमेंट्स में जहां वो डील करते रहे हैं, जिन डिपार्टमेंट्स में रहे, वहां कोई आदमी नहीं कहता कि वो बेईमान है. लेकिन उसके बावजूद ये लोग यहाँ पूरी की पूरी सीबीआई लगी हुई है उनको दिन रात सिद्ध करने में. तो कहीं ना कहीं सीबीआई का इस्तेमाल करके, कहीं किसी और का इस्तेमाल करके, ऐसे लोग जो बहुत बढ़िया इकोनॉमिक्स को समझते हैं, बहुत बढ़िया टेक्नोलॉजी को समझते हैं, इनको यहाँ काम नहीं करने दिया जाए. सरकार में सिर्फ चमचों को काम करने दिया जाए.
Their certificate is only a certificate of convenience, perhaps for those who meet their political ends. With regard to Rajendra Kumar, there were inquiries against him by vigilance. Complaints had gone to the Chief Minister, yet he chose to keep him in his own office. Now they are fighting tooth and nail to protect him or to give him a certificate of honesty. Why? What is it that Rajendra Kumar knows that will be probably harmful to them if it comes out in the open space?
He should ensure that through a court-monitored investigation, there is a fair investigation is conducted. He can ask for that. He should demand for that. But instead of just politicizing the whole issue, which is a plain and simple case of corruption, he is just trying to protect the guilty.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries. Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10:30 p.m.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, 7 people have died and 6 others injured after lightning struck Gaya in Bihar. The situation has been made worse by torrential rains. Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar expressed grief over the incident and announced a compensation of 4 lakh rupees to the families of the victims. NDRF teams have been deployed in Bihar's Gopalganj and Darbhanga districts to tackle a possible flood situation in the wake of heavy rains in the state. The disaster response force is also camping in Muzaffarpur, Supaul and Didarganj. Meanwhile, in Uttar Pradesh, a 30-year-old man was killed when a false ceiling collapsed on him in Barabanki district following moderate rainfall. Scattered rainfall was recorded in areas including Mirzapur, Varanasi, Bareilly, Churk and Gorawal. The Met officials said heavy rains are likely to hit a few areas in the state today. The Met Department has warned of extremely heavy rains in East Madhya Pradesh and very heavy rains in Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Vidarbha, Assam, Meghalaya, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, coastal Karnataka and Kerala. Meanwhile, in Assam, nearly 90,000 people have been affected in the latest wave of floods across 7 districts. 257 villages in the state are reeling under flood. The Brahmaputra is flowing above the danger mark. More than 6,000 hectares of crop have been damaged. The army said that its flood relief columns are in full readiness to tackle any kind of situation.
पूरा सामान नहीं निकालने पाए, पूरा बह गया, पूरा घर मेरा गिर गया, खाने का जितना था वो पूरा सामग्री पूरा भीग गया, खाने का कुछ नहीं है, हम लोग रोड पे हैं।
Moving on to some international news now, the FBI has recommended no criminal charges against Hillary Clinton for her handling of classified information during her stint as the US Secretary of State, while the probe termed Clinton's conduct as extremely careless in handling of at least 110 emails containing classified information at the time they were sent, but the agency does not recommend prosecution in the matter. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has called FBI assessment of Clinton's email as absolutely and totally rigged. Well, Britain's Conservative Party is voting to choose a new party leader who will succeed David Cameron as Prime Minister. And in round one, Theresa May, the UK Home Secretary, has won the first round. May was the clear front-runner in the race and bagged 165 votes in the first round, which resulted in the first elimination of a candidate with the least votes. Work and Pensions Secretary Stephen Crabb, who secured just 34 votes, announced he was dropping out of the race soon after and threw his support behind May. This just leaves UK Energy Minister Andrea Leadsom, who bagged 66 votes, and UK Justice Secretary Michael Gove with 48 votes still in the race for the second round of voting on Thursday. Cameron, who had campaigned for a Remain vote, had announced he would be stepping down for a new Prime Minister to take the negotiations for Britain's exit from the European Union forward after Britain voted 52-48 in favour of leaving the economic bloc. The Tory party's 330 MPs will vote in a further round next Tuesday until the two final candidates remain for Conservative Party's members to choose from, and the winner will be named on September 9th to replace Cameron.
The results actually tonight show that there is only one candidate really in a position overwhelmingly to unite our party and provide a strong and cohesive leadership which our country really needs at this time, and that's Theresa May. Now, I entered this leadership race with the overriding goal of putting two themes at the heart of the debate. One is unity for our divided nation, and two, opportunity, particularly for people from disadvantaged communities. I'm very encouraged by the response I had, but look at the results tonight. I think you can see there is only one candidate in a position now to unite the party.
Well, here's a roundup of the other international news in our World Wrap. Bodies of 9 Italians killed by Islamist militants in the Holy Artisan Cafe in Dhaka last week were brought to Rome in a military plane on Tuesday. Italian President Sergio Mattarella, who cut short a visit to Latin America after the attack, received the bodies at the airport along with grieving family members. Belgium sentenced 15 members of an Islamic State militant cell to 16 years in prison for plotting attacks on the Brussels airport. 9 of the militants were charged in absentia. 16 people were killed in an attack on Brussels airport in March this year. Iraq's Home Minister Mohammad Ghaban has resigned after a bombing in Baghdad that killed 250 people. The Islamic State had claimed responsibility for one of the deadliest ever attacks in Iraq on Sunday. The attack has sparked widespread anger among Iraqis who accuse the government of not doing enough to protect them. Moving on to some sports news now, and let's get you some news from Wimbledon. 5-time champion Venus Williams reached the Wimbledon semi-finals for the first time since 2009 with victory over Kazakhstan's Yaroslava Shvedova. Venus defeated Shvedova 7-6, 6-3. In Thursday's semi-finals, Venus will take on Germany's Angelique Kerber. Both Venus and Kerber won their quarterfinals in straight sets.
Game 7 match, Miss Williams, 7-6, 6-2.
Meanwhile, Germany's Kerber beat Simona Halep of Romania 7-5, 7-6 and will meet Venus Williams in the semi-finals. Angelique Kerber reaches the Wimbledon semi-finals for the second time.
3-1, Miss Kerber.
World number 1 Serena Williams progressed into the semi-finals after her win over Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in the quarterfinals. Serena thrashed Anastasia 6-4, 6-4. The world number 1 wrapped up the tie on her second match point with the 123 miles per hour ace for 11 in total. Now she will meet another Russian, Elena Vesnina, on Thursday in the other semi-final.
Game, set, match, Miss Williams. Possess the love, 6-4, 6-4.
Meanwhile, top-seeded Indo-Croatian pair Osania Mirza and Ivan Dodic were knocked out of Wimbledon's mixed doubles event after losing to unseeded British duo of Neil Skupski and Anna Smith. Sania and Dodic lost 6-4, 3-6, 5-7 in a match that lasted over 2 hours. The Indo-Croatian pair will next face Colombian duo of Juan Sebastian Cabal and Maria Duke Marino. Here's a roundup of the other overnight sports news in our Sports Beat. The Indian cricket team with their new coach Anil Kumble left for the upcoming West Indies tour on Tuesday. India will be playing 4 tests against the West Indies. This will be their first bilateral series against the Caribbean side after November 2014. The first test of the series will begin on the 21st of July at Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua. Sri Lankan legend Muthaiya Muralidharan on Tuesday rated India's Ashwin as the best in the business among the current crop of off-spinners. Muralidharan, who holds the world record of 800 test wickets, said that the Indian is on top, followed by the Australian Nathan Lyon. Well, the Indian hockey team came back to India after the Six Nations Invitational Tournament in Valencia and the Champions Trophy in London. India finished 5th in the Six Nation Tournament after drawing 1-1 against host Spain. South African Paralympian Oscar Pistorius is due to be sentenced for the murder of his girlfriend in 2013. Pistorius shot Riva Steenkamp 4 times through a locked toilet door in February 2013. Today it will decide how long he will spend in prison for murder. Earlier in December, it was decided that he will spend 15 years behind bars. Well, Eid ul-Fitr, which marks the culmination of the fasting and holy month of Ramzan, will be celebrated across the country, barring Kerala and Jammu and Kashmir, on Thursday. As this lunar month was of 30 days, fasting by Muslims will automatically be over on the 7th of July, the day on which Eid will be celebrated. The Shahi Imam of Jama Masjid, Syed Ahmad Bukhari, also announced that the Eid will be celebrated on July 7th. In Kerala and Jammu and Kashmir, however, Eid is being celebrated today. Well, the annual Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra is on in Odisha amidst tight security. Devotees from India and abroad have converged in Puri for the annual procession. The sibling deities of the Puri Jagannath temple come out in the open for darshan for devotees during the event. The Rath Yatra has the chariots of Lord Jagannath, his brother Balbhadra and sister Shubhadra, and it will conclude on July 15th. Well, that's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a good day.